To deepen reforms of state-owned enterprises, we first plan to diversify investment resources of these enterprises to develop mixed ownership economy. Another important aspect is to upgrade the administration system of the SOEs and to modernize the management system of SOEs. On the other hand, we also have to improve the management of state-owned assets, and the rate of profit of SOA turned over to the state will be increased.
By 2020, the rate of profit generated by state-owned assets turned over to the state will be 30%. Huang also said mixed ownership economy will be further developed. Non-state investments will be encouraged to participate in the running of SOA. By the end of last year, the total number of listed state-owned enterprises and their subsidiaries reached 378. The proportion of non-state shareholdings have reached 53% of the total. It said the participating of non-state investments will in turn help modernize the management system of state-owned enterprises. Now, for more insight into these reforms, let's talk to Mr. Xiang Songzuo, Chief Economist at the Agricultural Bank of China. Thank you very much for talking to us, Mr. Xiang. So we know that one important part of this reform is to diversify investors. Tell us, how will that be carried out?
Well, I think for SOE's reforms, the resolution passed by the third plenary make very clear that private capital will engage in transformation reforming of SOEs. Particularly, I think there are several ways for private capital to join this reform. First of all, private capital can participate, can take shares of SOEs by major and MA or urban certain market of shares. And the second, I think the private capital can join SOEs to invest in infrastructure and or strategic industries. And the third, I think the SOEs will recruit the high-quality talent from the market, from the private sectors in order to make the incentive structure and make the human resources much more competitive for SOEs. So there are many ways for private capital to participate in the fundamental change of SOEs. Additionally, the central government will set up the several assets management companies for SOEs, which means the future assets management vehicles will take shares of the biggest SOEs, and which, of course, will diversify the investment portfolio of the so-called the national assets, which, of course, will become much more competitive in the industry and much more efficiency for asset management for the country.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Xiang. We'll talk to you again very soon. At a press conference, the authorities have also outlined the three main principles of the reform.
First, we must stick to the basic economic system, which means public ownership is the main body, while a variety of other forms of ownership are also allowed. Second, we need to stick to market-oriented reform. And last, we must separate government functions from enterprise management.
Now, for more insight into these principles, let's talk to Mr. Xiang Songzuo. Again, he's the Chief Economist at the Agricultural Bank of China. Hello again, Mr. Xiang. So tell us more about how we can separate government functions from enterprise and management and let the market play the main role. What are the challenges there?
There are many challenges in this regard. First of all, how to select the executives and the top managers for SOEs. We know so far the executives and top managers of SOEs have been selected by the government essentially. And the second, how to make markets playing a decisive role in selecting top managers for SOEs, which I think is the most important challenge to the SOEs structure, to reform of SOEs. The second, well, we must push forward the reforming of the prices of key resources like electricity, gas, and the key raw materials. If we make all these raw materials and average the competitive prices, that means many SOEs maybe will face the loss-making situation, because before so far there's a huge subsidy from government to SOEs, including the steel, even the car industry. Some local governments put a subsidy to these SOEs. So if we push forward this reform, let the market determine the prices, and let the competitive forces play a role, and the SOEs must face the possibility of loss making, which of course will put pressure on fiscal situation. So which of course is a key challenge to the decision makers of central government as well as local governments. And thirdly, of course, the incentive structure. Right now, there are many people complain the salary, the bonus, and the benefit package of executives and top managers of AUs. However, compared with their counterpart foreign companies, their package is not very high. So how to make their incentive structure competitive with the competitive situation of the market, I think will consume much time for decision makers to figure out the right structure.